folks, welcome back to another reading. Today I am using the Light Seers Tarot to read your Celtic Cross. This is August 8th. It's the 8th month of the year, and it's the 8th day of the 8th month. And guess what popped up today? This is Strength 8 in reverse. I was going to talk a little bit about it, but it seems Spirit has decided to bring it up anyway. Also, happy Mercury retrograde. I hope you get to relax a little bit, and if things go a bit haywire, use it as an opportunity to step back and relax and say, shit happens, and go about your day as best as possible, okay? So, for this to be in reverse, as the central theme, by the way, talks to me about you not recognizing yourself as a deeply strong individual, as the deeply strong individual that you are. You might have a great deal of inner strength. At the same time, I'm wondering if this doesn't indicate that you don't have as much inner strength as you could have. It might be that you are yielding power to somebody. And we'll talk about that in just, we can talk about that right now. Skipping straight to the card sitting underneath the central theme. This is the unconscious card. Unconsciously, there's somebody here who's influencing how you feel about yourself, how you feel about being outside, independent of a romantic relationship. This is someone who is taking advantage of your goodwill and of your willingness to be together with this individual. This is someone who is not emotionally mature. This is someone who knows how to use your affection for them and use it for their advantage, and possibly use it against you, for instance. This person might be cheating. They may not be. You need to take it as it resonates. In reverse, sometimes the Knight of Cups indicates to me someone who is cheating. This is someone who does not need to be in a romantic relationship. When the Knight of Cups is in reverse, this is someone who needs to do a lot of growing up, maturing, before they consider a romantic relationship again, especially if they're in the reverse. In the upright position, there's the potential for them to grow into something else. This is kind of stagnant energy. This is someone who has found a way to use people that works for them, and they're going to stick to it, okay? That's in your subconscious position. That tells me that quite possibly you were blind to how your romantic partner is influencing how you operate in your everyday life. It's not just his behavior, his, her, there is no gender in tarot. Their behavior and their interactions with you isn't just limited to your relationship. It has far-reaching effects past this. Specifically, that you don't see yourself as someone who is strong, who is able to be independent. You just don't want to even consider that as a possibility. It's just not possible for you, because I feel like in many ways you are your own worst enemy. This particular individual isn't helping, but you also believe their lies, okay? It's time to bust those particular lies and start seeing yourself as an incredibly strong person. This is pointing toward your past. This is the Queen of Wands. This is someone who used to be strong in another context, but has gradually allowed their strength, or gradually surrendered their power and their strength to someone else, specifically this Knight of Cups. This queen has no business surrendering her power to a knight. The knight should be ceding his power to the queen. Again, there is no gender in tarot, but this is kind of teenager-ish energy to me. You could be dealing with an adult. The problem is that they're still in a high school mindset. There is no reason for an adult who thinks like an adult to be surrendering their power to a teenager. Most especially not in a romantic relationship. This is an unequal partnership. I feel like you're doing more work, doing even more emotional labor than this particular Knight of Cups is doing. And he's a Cups figure. Now, you've got some water energy here too with this fire and water kind of energy. You're deeply intuitive, you're compassionate, you're loving, but at the same time, you're a deeply powerful person, or at least in the past you were. You knew when to take action before you started getting into these types of relationships, or before you met and married or dated or moved in together with this particular person, okay? Things changed when you met them. It's like you wanted to give them power because you felt like it was the right thing for you to do. Maybe there's a faith, a religion that's telling you that this is the right thing to do. Spirit's telling you to hold on and say that not all forms of surrender, most especially to someone who doesn't deserve it, not all forms of surrender are good. It would be a possibly different dynamic if this wasn't, I just dropped your Knight of Cups. It's Mercury retrograde energy, okay? There's no reason to surrender your power to someone who thinks like a child. I'm sorry you're going through this particular situation. I see that in the past, a never-ending burden started. You might be attached to this particular person in a way where it's really not easy to get away from them. You might have dependence minors with this particular individual. Gradually, this burden has gotten worse over the years because you feel it more. Eventually, it's going to be too heavy for you to carry anymore, and you're going to want to put it down. But at this point, you're still carrying it. The weight is incredibly heavy on you. This is you in the conscious position, above the central theme of strength in reverse. You've lost faith in the universe. This is hard, and I'm getting fall from grace as well. Now, I talked a little bit about getting canceled in another video, or another recent video, and I pulled this particular card in the reverse position back then too. It may be that people see you differently because you're attached to this particular person. They're interacting with you differently, and you can feel it, but you're not sure how to get out of this particular energy either. This is also about loss of faith in the universe, or not believing that the universe is going to carry you through a situation where you do need to be strong. It's interesting. Queen of Wands is a very powerful psychic individual, and I wonder if you haven't been shutting down any psychic indications, urges from the universe because you don't trust them, because you don't want to believe what they have to say. You want them to say something nice about this particular character when there's really not very much nice stuff to say at all. In your future, you're going to be offered an opportunity from the universe. This is your future and your outcome cards combined. The universe is going to offer you an opportunity through the Four of Cups to get together with people and have a really good time that possibly lifts your spirits enough to see that this is not someone that you have any business wasting any more of your time or energy being around. Absolutely, it's understandable if you still have some feelings, some affection, romance attached to this particular person. They don't deserve your hard work. They don't deserve your hard emotional labor. Spirit's saying you shouldn't waste your time with this individual anymore, that you need to leave, that you need to start working with friends. The universe is going to offer you an opportunity. You need to tap back into your psychic abilities. You've got them. You need to tap back into them and listen to the universe when it offers it to you and take it. This particular individual could end up taking the cup. They could end up not taking. It's actually a singing bowl. This particular deck uses singing bowls. This particular person could or could not take this particular singing bowl. It's going to be ultimately up to them. They could choose to let it drop to the ground and not take it at all. I hope you choose not to be this particular person. There could be a tower moment. You've already gone through a couple, at least one tower moment. Excuse me. A tower moment is the kind of thing where it absolutely breaks apart the foundations of your relationship, of your life, of yourself, for instance. It's the end of an era, and it forces you to start a new one. The tower symbolizes something that should not have been built or has become obsolete over time and no longer needs to be standing. You've already been possibly through a tower moment with this particular individual. Even when the universe gave you the opportunity to leave in the form of a tower moment, you didn't. You stuck around. You called it struggle love. You said, this is just a couple going through hard times. You didn't see it as an opportunity to leave when you should have. The universe is going to get you a different way. It's going to try friends. It might or might not be hard to just say no. You might miss these people. These people might have stepped away from you because this particular individual and your relationship with them have driven your friends away. You might meet new people. These might be old people that you've known in the past. These might be cousins, siblings, family members that you're really close with. These are people that you vibe with on a very deep level that you can spend a great deal of time with. Never get weary of not get weary of their company for at least a little while, a long while anyway. These are people who have your best interests at heart, who want to see you do well, who celebrate with you when you are celebrating, who are upset when you are upset. These are people who flow with you. You're going to be given an opportunity to hang out with them. You need to realize, this is your advice card, you need to understand that you are your own worst enemy with this particular relationship, that you are suspending yourself when you don't need to be suspended in this relationship. You need to move out. You don't need to be in the hanged man reverse position. The universe wants to take you down from this particular position, and it's offering you that chance. There is the understanding that eventually there is the risk that you could be forcefully pulled down, forcefully taken out of this particular romantic relationship. It would be ultimately to your own good. The question is whether you would fight it or not, whether you would fight the universe taking you out of the relationship or not. The point is, don't get to the point where the universe forces you out of a particular situation, or try not to, okay? Hoping for the best for you here, okay? This is your current environment. Whatever labor that you put into this particular relationship gets uprooted. One, because the universe doesn't want you here, so it's not going to bless the labors that you put into it. But also, when a queen is unequally yoked together with a knight in a romantic partnership when she should be together with a king, it's going to a certain degree, any moves you make in the relationship are going to be pointless. If you try to grow, this particular individual is not at all interested. Stagnant. They are stagnant, okay? Remember, they're in the reverse. They're not interested in growth at all. You are wasting your time trying to plant these seeds. These seeds will not grow. They will not bear fruit. They will die in the ground, and they'll just not work out for you. There's a better way of going about this if you can realize how pointless and how harmful this particular relationship is for you. One more card. In your hopes and your fears, you just want to feel in love with somebody. You want someone to return your affections. You want to be on an equal footing with them. This is what you hope for out of this particular individual. And this may be why you're sticking around. This is what you want, but this is what this individual cannot give you, because that is not in their nature at this point in their life. There's always the possibility that they could choose to grow, but in this particular context, when they don't feel like they need to change because you're doing the work for them, they're not going to. They don't have a motivation, therefore they won't. I wish I had better news for you, but this is not your Two of Cups with this particular person. I hope that you do find your Two of Cups with someone else. But I also feel like you need to heal and recover and have your own adventures with your own people for a while before you come back together with somebody else. Folks, I hope that you get out of this obsolete romantic partnership as soon as possible. I respect that this was painful to listen to. And I hope that you stay, that you pick. If you haven't stayed on, I hope that you get back onto a spiritual path. I hope that you pick the spiritual path that's best for you. And I hope that you stick to it. I hope that you hang out with these cool people too. Take care. Thanks for listening.